you dumb, beautiful fucker.
Who wants to be in America's slash fic with Abraham Lincoln?
Louisiana Purchase, that's a name.
You need to really get off my balls, okay? I'm gonna kick your ass.
Also, why was Michelangelo so stinky? Ew.
Go out there, just cape in the wind, just picking up garbage. Just like, goddamn Whataburger. If they didn't supply these morons with wrappers, they wouldn't be throwing them on the ground. I'm coming for you, bitch. I know we're recording now because you're going right into the microphone when you're talking. Yeah. I am. It's like Misfits, but not as entertaining, and I'm dressed as Batman for some reason. And I'm not mic'd up, so it's not like cars are passing by. It's like in the movies where it's just like, but it's just like you go hear she's like,
because I will say that is one thing. I know why they do it in movies. It's so you can hear the dialogue. But I think I think people underappreciate like how loud fucking road traffic is.
No, it's insanely loud, especially if you're standing on the side of the road taking out the trash, and a truck blows by you. Then like a second later, just gale force winds.
just like even like in the turning lane, like just trying to go somewhere, like an 18-wheeler's just. Whoom, your whole vehicle's just like wobbling like it's water, just like oh Jesus.
Which is I always get scared when that fucking happens. Just like it's like damn, bro, you need to slow your fucking roll.
Man, we really gotta trust like so many people when we just exist in the world.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that like. There have been times where I have to actively like tell myself not to think about that because once you start down that rabbit hole, that shit gets really fucking scary.
Oh yeah,
especially when like everything in the world is basically built on just like the implicit trust that people will do what they're supposed to.
Yeah. Oh, please follow the rules so I can keep breathing. That would be nice.
And it's just like we all exist in a society. We live in a society where we have like a gun at each other's neck, but neither of us know it. Though it's just there.
Yeah. It's almost like the movie we watch.
Yeah, it's like try having a full blown conversation with somebody when like I don't know the back hangar door of a jumbo jet's open. Perfect segue, I guess.
Perfect segue. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Non-Canon Files number 37.
37?
Yep.
I'm 37? I've never got to say that in a real world scenario. I'm very happy. I'm sorry, Pat. I'll explain later. Continue.
Okay. But yes, this is the 37th Non-Canon Files and the first one of 2022.
Nice, yeah.
Yep. So what we have in today is a nice little spoiler review of a little movie that's come out. You know, people have been talking. There've been some people stirring around about it. So opinions are going to be had, and it's time for AYCH to throw their hat into that ring to discuss what they think about it. But before we get into that, let's formally introduce my two co-hosts today. Who do we have with us?
We got JoJo.
And that canon guy on a non-canon file.
Yep.
Wait, no, non-canon. Oh, no, canon's not supposed to be here. But he's in here with the non-canon, so the universe is about to be destroyed. We're all about to die.
Well, what happens is, like, canon fades away, and then Frank fades in, and he's real this time.
Like, I start slowly fading out, like in Back to the Future. Like, I'm looking at the picture. God, where's my sister's head? What the fuck? But, yeah, it's like non-canon. I'm actually invisible. I'm not even canon. I'm John Cena.
Where is he? We can't see him.
He's just a voice.
God, I just flash back to one of the many times I have gotten piss-ass drunk in this fucking house. and and this was like on a Tuesday, mind you. Like I had to call into work. I'm laying on the fucking couch, like drunk off my ass, like can barely move, just playing fucking just John Cena vines from like 2014 and screaming at the top of my lungs.
Yes.
It was in that moment I realized I probably should put the bottle down every now and then.
I don't know, man. That
was a good night.
and that classic was it that prank call? That prank call where that dude keeps, it's like a radio show and he's like, his name is Johnson. That has been played at my job on our Bluetooth speaker at least 4 times.
It's fucking funny.
It is funny. I don't know if it's like 4 times in a row funny.
It's
at work,
definitely not that funny.
but it's still funny.
Because I remember finding that during my like John Cena meme like special interest moment. But
this is my mini.
This is my
fixation.
ADHD fixation for the night. I remember finding that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't heard this in a while, and really thinking it was genuinely funny. But man, I could see after like the first like 1.5 times that being irritating as shit.
Oh yeah. Dead horses get beaten a lot where I work. Not actual horses. That would be cruel.
That'd
would
be the glue
great.
factory.
Yeah. Man, that'd be terrifying. Who would ever want to do that? What are we talking about again?
Good question. Initially, this was the Uncharted spoiler cast where we were going to jump in and talk about all the things that happened in Uncharted, and definitely a little bit extra. But in traditional AYCH fashion, why don't we go around the room and say our star reviews and our initial thoughts before we get into a deeper discussion. JoJo, why don't you head us off?
It's fine. It's a entertaining movie. Like to me, this is just like the epitome of just like Sunday afternoon, like TNT movie.
Yeah.
And you know, it does what I think it meets almost every bar. It's just a fine, solid, all right movie. I gave it 3 out of 5.
All right,
like a
Ken?
solid 6 out of 10.
What did you think?
Well, I have been a huge mega Uncharted nerd since huge Uncharted fan since the first game. That Uncharted Drake's Fortune was the first PlayStation 3 game I ever bought. I was in Walmart. I had someone open the case for me. I had 2 games in my hand, one being Uncharted Drake's Fortune and the other being Kane and Lynch. I think I made a good call.
I think you did too. And like, I remember. Oh, we'll get into it. Never mind.
No, it's fine. But yes, I've played every Uncharted game. Minus that weird like card game they had on the Vita. And there may have been, I saw something, there may have been one or may have been plans for one on the PSP, but I don't know. But as far as I know, I've played them all, have thoroughly enjoyed them all, have played the first game, like probably 4 times, started a 5th run before we saw the movie. But to the actual movie, I thought it was, again, just fine. It was a pretty decent first adventure. Me personally, what I would have liked to see, like bigger set pieces, that weren't in the trailer.
Yeah.
But other than that, I feel like they may have played it a little safe. But I'm not complaining for a first outing in this world. If they decide, I would like to see this continue. Like, if this makes money, imagine what they could do with a bigger budget on the next one.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta believe they threw, judging from the special effects and like the sheer amount of just CG-ery, they definitely threw a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
at it. And I definitely think this made a lot of money. I think I saw somewhere they made like $100 million or something.
Oh shit, really? But anyway, we're gonna talk about it. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars on the Letterboxd scale.
All right. I am uninformed when it comes to Uncharted. So I went in there with baby eyes, and it was fun. It didn't like blow my hair back, but it was a nice movie to see on a Tuesday night for $5. So yeah, fun time. 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Solid little movie.
And I would definitely recommend the games because I haven't played all of them. I've only played 2.5 of them, and I really enjoyed them.
Which were those 2.5 again?
1 and 2.5 and 3. God, I can't fucking talk. 1, 2, and half of 3.
Okay. God, Uncharted 2 is so good.
2 is like one of the best games ever made. Hearing about the series from Cody and Colt, because they got the PS3 pretty early on, and it was like bundled with the PS3.
Yeah, it was a launch title, right?
I believe so. And Cody was like, "Yeah, it was this game. He plays this guy, and he's explaining it." And I was like, "Wow, that sounds pretty cool." And I forgot. One day he brought it over and we played through it, and I was like, "This is just modern Indiana Jones in like the best way possible." And I think for the most part, I mean, the movie does the games justice for what it is.
Yeah, it's like I guess, I mean, obviously spoilers for the movie and for the game, but the opening, and it's so weird, again, and I've said this on multiple episodes, trailers be giving way too much shit away. That awesome and it was, this whole, like, plane sequence straight out of Uncharted 3. It was, literally straight out of Uncharted 3, and I thought they pulled it off fucking perfectly. And somehow I knew after we saw that bit in all the trailers, how did I know going in that this was literally going to be the opening of the film? Like, I didn't know anything going in, but I was just like, what? It'd be funny if he just like, just wakes up in the air and it happens. And I was just like, oh, yeah.
And I mean, that's basically like the entire movie. I mean, like, there was maybe like one time where I was like, oh, they went that direction. Didn't realize that. But outside of that, it was like, okay, I know the beats as they're coming.
Yeah. Oh, man. I think I read somewhere that that sequence was the hardest thing that Tom Holland has had to shoot.
I mean, like, this is probably one of his most physical roles to date. I mean, him, like, jumping up and down and, like, climbing walls and shit for Spider-Man, the last 6-7 years. But then, like, on top of that and what he did for Uncharted, it's like, yeah, they're putting this little twink to the ringer.
Yeah, because I know he does a lot of his own stunts.
Yeah, probably as much as they're willing to let him do.
Yeah. Because, like, he does, like I mean, at least from what I've seen him do, he appears to be like a parkour type style, like Ninja Warrior style, because he's doing like that little
sounding ladder.
Yeah, something that resembles that in the movie, which is funny to me.
Because there's a part of this movie that seems kind of funny how, obviously Tom Holland is, Nathan Drake, and how it seems like he's just this little, like, swindling little guy. He takes stuff away and like sneaks away, but then also same time just fucking rock hard dude who just like run around jumping shit. It seems like when were you doing this? Between like being a bartender and like stealing jewelry, but also just being like a world class athlete.
I guess he was just like a lot of time in the nunnery, waiting on his brother Sam, I guess.
Yeah, he's just like doing like fucking curls and like burpees and like I'm every day that my brother's not here, I'm gonna do 10 sit-ups.
Yeah,
yeah. I will say, like, at least in the movie, like, you see fucking homeboy Tom Holland shirtless, and dude's fucking shredded in this movie.
Like, he's bigger. I think he's bigger as Drake than he is as Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and it's funny that he's definitely bigger, but compared, like, in terms of physique, he's still small. Like, he's still a tiny guy, but of course, big for Tom Holland. Now it'd be funny if had like the Aaron Taylor Johnson physical transformation, went from Kick-Ass to Quicksilver.
Yeah.
It was just like completely different body type.
It's like you're just two different people at this point.
Yeah, he went through like super puberty and gained like 100 pounds of muscle.
I'm sorry, me being like I guess one of the registered Uncharted nerds in the neighborhood. Again, we mentioned. I find it funny because in the game universe, we don't find out about Nathan Drake's brother. We don't even know he has a fucking brother until the 4th game.
Is that the last game or next to last?
The main title with an actual Nathan Drake in it. Because I know, like, after that, they had The Lost Legacy, which was originally DLC, but they made it its own kind of spin-off game with 2 of the characters in that universe. And I know, again, there's a Vita version, so I guess technically that'd be like 5, 6 games. I don't know. But, yeah, we don't meet Sam until the 4th game. But the way the movie pulled it off, it was like almost taken straight from the game. Because, well, the part where Sam just dips and they just, like, take off. But the part where they open up and they're trying to steal this map in this, I guess, a museum they're in or something.
This museum / nunnery.
Yeah, museum / nunnery. And I thought that was pulled off very well. In fact, I like the fact that they went ahead and did that in this movie as opposed to the games when it's like, oh, yeah, by the way, I have a brother an eternity later.
I definitely feel like it's starting, like, I guess the benefit of a movie franchise that you're just starting out, that you can sort of, like, take some of the aspects of the games that were, in a narrative sense, feel a little clunky, and we can just just basically just start it over because, like, obviously you have like years of plot and interaction with this character, and then just like suddenly this major thing it was never thought of or even hinted at. It's like, oh, by the way,
yeah. Well, I mean, I will say in the game's defense, there's really not like an opportunity for that to come up.
That's true.
Because, like, at least, like, 1 and 2, I mean, don't really explore Nathan Drake's past. I mean, I know you do a little bit in 3.
Yeah. It's not necessarily a trope I hate, as more so I think it's funny.
Yeah. It is kind of... It's always funny when, like, especially something that's pretty long running. It's like, oh, by the way, here's this character who's just been, like, slightly off screen.
I mean, hell, as recent as... I say recent, and this is newer, but Fast 9, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Secret brother, am I right?
Secret brother.
And I know we saw Fast 9.
Y'all have seen Fast 9. I still haven't checked that out, unfortunately.
I don't remember, outside of, like, the big thing in there.
Yeah.
I don't think I really remember much.
Well, it's a good thing that we have plans to restart the Fast Files at some point, and just whenever we get time for it. We didn't drop it because we got disinterested. It just life got in the way. So, but we definitely plan to get back on that, and we might have another passenger on board for the ride, brother.
Ooh, brother. Family.
It's a family picture.
But shit.
It's very much family oriented. Now, I did want to ask, as the uninformed on Uncharted, what games did the movie take reference from?
Well, honestly,
3 and 4.
Honestly, the only bit from 3 that I see was the jet sequence.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, technically 3 and 4. The main
because I know
story,
that's like the big set piece of that game, right?
Yeah, yeah, because like oh yeah, that's like your big money shot in that game. Well, one of them, yeah.
Yeah. I need to finish it.
Oh, it's good. And I just saw the list, like all the games that IGN has given a perfect 10 to, since they just gave Elden Ring one. And I forgot that they gave Drake's Deception, Uncharted 3, a 10, but not 2.
2 is...
No disrespect to 3, of course.
Disrespect to 3. I think out of the original trilogy, it's the weakest.
Yeah. And oh god, Pat, 2 is so good.
I mean, honestly, like, not saying you should skip 1 because 1 is good in its own right.
Oh yeah.
But like 1 is like A New Hope versus like 2's like The Empire Strikes Back. Not in like tone or anything.
But in
But,
terms of like upscaling the original.
Like there is a long protracted sequence on a train that is one of the best moments in video games.
Yes, and just oh god. But to answer your question, this I think this movie is loosely based around the 4th game.
Okay.
The last game with the title character Nathan Drake, and with the whole brother story line, like him leaving. There's a little more in the game because like Uncharted 4, it's a fucking masterpiece. It's great. However, it's the one I've played the least since it's the newest. So there's still bits of it that are kind of fuzzy. I know in the game, I don't remember if you two escaped the like orphanage together or whatever, or the nunnery together. But I know there's a moment where you're both in like the same prison together. And in the game, you see Sam get killed. Like, you just see him get, like, riddled with bullets, and you think he's dead. But, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, he shows up later in the game. He's like, hey, Drake, I found this thing we've been looking for. We got to go. But, and, of course, in this movie, well, not a lot of Sam. You only see, like, the young Sam dipping out. But other than that, and, of course, you got Victor Sullivan, played by Mark Wahlberg.
Easily the weakest part of the movie.
Yeah, easily the weakest part. It should have been Bruce Campbell. God damn it! That's just my fan casting. I know, but it's too perfect not to be.
Bruce Campbell is great
Because I didn't even think of that as an option until you brought it up, but I was like, God damn, that would have been good.
It's like, and Pat has like mentioned this to me off the pod, but like saying that Bruce Campbell should have played him. And it's like, and yet have kind of loosely a Burn Notice inspired because he was wearing a lot of like floral Hawaiian shirts in that show.
Yeah,
and that's basically Sully's wardrobe in the games.
Yeah,
so, and it would have been great.
And I do know, like, I looked into it a little bit, that apparently, like, this movie's been in development hell for years.
An eternity. Oh my god.
And no less than 10 years.
Yeah.
'Cause I know there was a point where Mark Wahlberg was attached to play Nathan Drake himself.
That is correct.
And then, 10 years happened and, he got too old to play that character. It's like, we'll just make you the next oldest character. And apparently there was a point when, Chris Pratt was attached to be Nathan Drake. But then, like, I don't want to be that. I want to be the new Indiana Jones, which, remember when that was a thing?
And then it wasn't.
And then, like, God.
Honestly, just Lucasfilm, Disney, please. No, just stop. What you doing? Just let it go. It's okay. You saw what happened with 4. It wasn't good.
But I'm sorry. Were you?
No, that was kind of it.
Oh well, I was just like. Other than that, character-wise, you got the Chloe Frazer played by Sophia Ali, which I thought she did a really good job as Chloe.
I will say, like, her first scene, there's something about that's kind of off.
Yeah, it's a little wonky. It's a little awkward.
Like, and I don't think it's the actors.
No.
It's like edited weird.
Yeah,
Like every shot has like a second. The shot goes on for like a second too long.
Yeah.
Like there's just like too much, like, honestly, like dead air, for lack of a better word.
Like, I don't know if it was their intention to make it awkward, but you're right. I think like the editing was weird there. It was just off.
But I will say, like, that was the only time I really noticed that. But like, I think as far as capturing like the younger version of the character we see in the games, I'm like, did a good job. Like, literally the only one I was just not feeling was Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, and at times even he in the movies I felt had moments, but again, though it was more so the moments where like shit's going down, and when he was like acting kind of goofy, like that part where they're like down in like the storm drain. And he's just like yelling at him the whole time. He's like, "Get the cold where you stay down there." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, like that was like genuinely funny. And I don't want to like paint like Mark Wahlberg is like actively terrible. He's just kind of Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Like he's like Tom Holland. There's Tom Holland there, but like he you can tell he was picking up on like Nathan Drake isms and like the sort of like his cadence of speaking.
Yeah.
I was just like, that was a really nice touch. And then just fucking Mark Wahlberg over here doing like the fucking happening, like, no.
Well, from what I've
no.
God. Well, from what I've read, Tom Holland is actually a fan of the series too. He credits Uncharted 4 being like his favorite. I don't know if it's his favorite of the series or favorite game of all time, but it's his favorite in some capacity.
Yeah.
But other than that, like Antonio Banderas' character Santiago Moncada, I think he and his dad, they were completely made up for the movie, and I was wrong. I thought that I hope I'm saying this right. Tati Gabrielle's character was I forgot her name.
And in the movie,
Uncharted.
her name's Joe Braddock.
Yeah, it's Braddock in this, but I thought it was I did not get prepared at all. A character from Uncharted 4 and also Lost Legacy. But no, it is a complete, which is weird because in this movie she seemed to have like a private like militia military group working for her, and that's exactly the character from Uncharted 4, but it's just not her. They just changed her name. I mean, I don't know. I guess like creative liberties, I guess.
I do remember reading that people expected Tati Gabrielle's character to be like it was very similar to a pre-existing character. Just for whatever reason, they didn't go with that.
Yeah.
I do think it's funny that because like when I was remember seeing the trailers, I was like, okay, I recognize them. They don't know her. And I was like, oh shit, that's the mean girl witch from the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Oh, okay.
Because she was like the mean witch girl. I was like, oh, okay, because like she has a very distinctive like face and like hairdo. And I was like, okay, I recognize her anywhere. She's she was the main. Essentially, the main bad guy. And Antonio Banderas is like
5 minutes total.
which like is like I will say that it's like a genuine criticism because like Antonio Banderas is like was really good as like the the big bad, but I guess because Antonio's like 60 plus, he can't have that physical threat the same way as like 20-something girl with a knife and an army. So,
well, I mean, like, if we're going to take, like, say, Indiana Jones, which is clearly inspired by, like, the main villain of Raiders of the Lost Ark is a fucking nerd.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Does it do
whatever reason, but it does feel like really cheap. That we were kind of like
I agree.
shortchanged Antonio as being like this villain, like a more villainous present until like Joe's like just like cuts his throat and straight dead down the barrel of the camera, and there's just no blood.
Yeah, apparently she has like a mini lightsaber blade. Like it cauterized the wound immediately because you full blown see his character get his throat slit. There ain't a single drop of blood at all.
It's just like a fucking gash. And that kind of segues into like something we talked about afterwards of like, for a PG-13 movie, there's some kills in this that are pretty brutal.
Yeah, not necessarily on like a bloody or gory, but like some of the fucking like stunt work and like licks these stunt men and women were taking even had me as a wrestling fan going, holy shit, that was
they're taking
gnarly.
some like stiff bumps, like especially when we get to like the finale and some of these other like set piece moments where they're just like getting shit thrown at them, like bumping like off of like ledges and cliffs and just like tumbling. It's just like I hope they paid well for this gig.
Also, I just want to throw this out there. The character I was referring to earlier in Uncharted 4 and The Lost Legacy is Nadine Ross. I thought the Braddock character was Nadine Ross, but no.
No, this is just
OC do not steal.
Just
OC do not steal.
just a OC that has pretty much the exact same characteristics as the first character, like has her own army working for her.
Or I thought like that was part of Moncato's like goon squad. Okay, one bit I thought was so funny about Moncato's motivation is that because the whole precipice of the plot is built on you're trying to reclaim the lost gold from like the
Magellan's voyage.
Magellan's like tour around the world, and like his gag is I will I will use this adventure to like get back gold and reclaim my family's fortune and good standing. Like, dude, like, did you not see this jumbo jet and like all these men and all these weapons you have? And it's like, I'm gonna get my family's money back. Like, you're a multi-billionaire, and you're like, I need a couple more billions.
People with more money need more money, Pat. That's how it works.
I mean,
and granted, halfway through the movie, his dad is just like, "Hey, I was really sad. I'm apologizing about being the whole fascist thing, and so I'm just going to give my fortune away." And he's like, "You can't do that, Dad. That's not yours to give." And he's like, "Bitch, I fucking earned it. It's mine. Fuck you."
And then he has Braddock cut his dad's neck open in the car.
Oh yeah, you don't get to see that one though.
Yeah.
But yeah, like some of the stunts, like the moment where they're at the auction house, and there's this big it's not even a chandelier. It's basically light tubes hanging from cords.
Yeah,
just
it's like a collection of light tubes.
And Holland, Nathan Drake is trying to get away from some baddies, and he's on there swinging, and then he gets knocked down. And at one point, I forget how exactly it happens, but he like hits something in midair, does like a 360 fucking corkscrew, hits a table, and then falls on the floor. And I'm just like, Jesus.
Tom Holland eats shit
like
in this movie.
Like whoever that was, the stunt guy, Tom Holland. Oh my God! Like it reminded me of when like Ray Phoenix like does that move where he just spins, like he'll spin and then do like more spins and then just land on your ass. Just like, oh God, only just wrecked.
Yeah, and it's funny they hired luchadors to be the stunt guys, but if he pauses just right, you can still they're wearing their mask just like on top of the seat.
But yeah, I actually really enjoy Antonio Banderas as an actor, and having him not being at that much. I did read that he did get COVID during shooting. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. He recovered quickly. It was like 2-3 weeks, but he was not in this movie at all. If I would like to see, if any, what was cut from his portion of the film.
If there was like they had to sort of redo the movie to stay on schedule after he got sick. I don't know what the behind the scenes of this is, but like I would like to see Antonio in like more kind of villainous role. I mean, he don't really he hasn't been in a lot of movies lately, but while we still got him, let's use him.
Yeah.
God, there was a movie he was in where he was like this doctor, like this evil doctor or something. I can't remember what it's called. Fuck.
Evil Dr. Antonio Banderas.
What's the evil doctor movie? Y'all banter, I'll find it.
But let's see. Again, I know we're jumping around and whatnot, but
well, while we're on the stunts
okay.
a little while, I did think, of course, Tommy just eats a bunch of shit. He gets thrown around like the little tiny kid that he is, just like bounce off walls, thrown off tables. And he does have some kind of slick moves, like when they're fighting in the auction house, he does that, and you see it in the trailer, but I still think it's slick. Where he like hops onto the railing, kind of somehow spins around while sitting on the railing, and lands back on the other side. Like, that's a slick move.
Just doing a 619 on a rail, man. It's just fucking rad.
I mean, you don't know how much I just want to see just superheroes do wrestling moves in a ring.
Oh my God! Like Marvel and DC, they're in my opinion losing money on not having a wrestling game with their characters as their roster.
I mean, I guess I'm even though I love AAA and I know it's just a enormous clusterfuck. I do love how they have the Marvel luchador wrestlers as part of their alliance with Disney,
like an officially licensed match with Disney. That's actually cool. Even though it's a train wreck most of the time.
I mean, there's still some good shit.
Yeah, I'm not shit. There's some good shit there.
I mean, you know.
Oh yeah, I watched.
I'll tell you.
Usually the worst shit's after the match.
Yeah, everybody on Twitter bitching about it.
That is true.
Hey, everybody! If you think AAA has overbooked match,
one of the best things ever. It's like me and JoJo were on the couch and forgot what we were talking about. But we're just like, man, it's like watching AAA and GCW. That's when I realized what overbooked matches are. No offense. Like, there's a lot. That one AAA show I watched with y'all, there was a lot to enjoy there.
I'm glad Mr. Iguana won the Rumble.
All of the goofs are actually mostly on the production end, to be honest.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
it's not the wrestler's fault.
I mean, there's definitely some botches here or there, but like, there's just a lot of gaffes when it comes to like the show running as a machine.
Yeah, God, you were talking about people that were attached to this movie. Like, imagine the world where, like, when the original plan was Mark Wahlberg as Nathan Drake, Robert De Niro as Victor Sullivan.
Oh wow!
And Joe Pesci as I don't know who he would have played, Elena Fisher, I guess.
It's like,
what do you mean I can't get on the plane with you? I'm a photographer for a newspaper. That was a terrible Pesci.
No, that was actually pretty good.
No, Joe Pesci is the Braddock character. Like, he's just got like this, he just has like his little like dress with one slip off, and he's got like the knife cuts people's throats with.
Speaking of dresses, what was that one dress Braddock was wearing that made my fucking eyes hurt? It reminded me, and I know we should talk this movie. Well, I know I should talk this movie. Well, I know Justin should talk this movie a lot, especially in front of Winslow. But the ending of Interstellar, that dress reminded me of the weird library.
Oh,
like
God.
Just the and that bit from fucking I Think You Should Leave. The patterns are just so complex. You don't even know. It made my eyes hurt, that dress.
Shut the fuck up, there.
Like,
if
we would. Oh yeah, like I think it's after the first, like after the alley, the auction night.
Yeah,
she has like this like weird like, it's almost like it's sequin segmented, like. It's like, is this armor? What is this?
Like, what's that thing that you turn with
like
the
kaleidoscope?
Yeah, it's that was the dress.
I mean, I'm not saying it's like a bad, but just like it seems just kind of inexplicable.
Yeah, it was
like this isn't like casual wear.
It was an enigma. Like, you were like doing some treasure hunting.
I mean, I'm glad that Tati Gabrielle decided to serve hair, body, and face to the fucking mercenary game. She was on point. She was looking fucking fierce.
But yeah, can you imagine Joe Pesci in this movie in some capacity? What if Joe Pesci was the villain?
Or Joe Pesci is just like there as Joe Pesci, but like he's just in the background.
Joe Pesci as the cat.
It's like 9 Lives with Kevin Spacey, but just fucking Joe Pesci.
Man, that was a funny fucking bit. Like, there's a part in the movie where Tom Holland is texting Sully about the things he needs for this job, and then he says, and he needs a cat. And then Sully, does the K thing, which is such a kid thing to do. Like, imagine just a boomer sending you K. Just, I'm gonna fucking ruin your data plan. But anyway,
I'm going to use all the YouTube. You have no idea.
But he
without any Wi-Fi.
And he gets the cat, and he's just like, all right, well, he goes, all right, let's grab the cat. He goes, oh, we don't need the cat. He goes, that's for you. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, well, it's like, you just seem so lonely. I figured you need some. It's like, no, I'm not keeping this cat. And then, of course, just fucking falls in love with the cat.
I love how, the cat has a sad little, it's a sad, quizzical meow. And then I heard Cannon go just like, oh.
I'm a fan of cats.
Catman can.
Catman can, Dogman can.
Not to be confused with 2019's Cats.
I haven't seen that. I never will. I'll never see the Dookie version. Well, the Dookie version.
That's the version where they're all covered in shit.
What I'm referring to is apparently the initial release of Cats. There was a lot of fuck ups with the CGI that were special effects that weren't even finished yet. So they sent a finished version of the movie after the fact. But since I'll never see the fucked up version, I'll never watch Cats.
Yeah, because what you don't know is that cats are just like horses. They shit where they walk. Just Dookie falls right out. They keep going.
But yeah, the kitty bit, especially God, I know, the end bit where he has in a cat. Where's the cat? He's like, oh, I forgot what he named the cat, but he's like, oh, I got the cat in the bag.
Whiskers or something stereotypical.
I thought they named the cat. Well, earlier was like Da Vinci or something, but I might have been wrong.
I thought it was I don't know.
I think in like the post credit scene, he has the cat in the backpack. It said Mr. Whiskers.
But God, the anything we want to discuss before we get to I guess the big shit.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Because they're looking for the gold, and we get your. This is what I thought was funny. Like your cliched plane flying over a map scene at least 3 times. Now it looked very nice. Don't get me wrong. It looked like it had fucking Boss Logic all over it. But we love you, Boss Logic. That wasn't me talking shit. But we get that. Just jumping around all over the world. The movie's called Uncharted. We're in New York, and
and they have the whole bit where they're trying to get this. They get the little key from the little auction house. There's 2 of them, and homegirl's got the other one, and then they're fussing and fighting and sticking the keys in places and holes and. And trying to
what kind of movie is this?
Every hole
sticking things in holes.
They're just sticking it in there and turning. And I do think it's funny in the course of them doing the find one clue gets you to the next clue, finds you the next clue, that whole National Treasure stuff.
Yeah.
And I love how in the middle of it, Mark Wahlberg has a fight in a Papa John's.
Yes.
What do you mean? I'm in the middle of a Papa John's.
I'm literally in the middle of a Papa John's right now. I'm buying that movie just because of that line right there.
And because he fights Joe Braddock in there, and then he just throws that bitch at a wall and breaks the glass so he can stick the key in the hole.
Man, that was some gnarly fucking glass. He's beating on it, shooting it with guns. It took him throwing a whole human through that bit. Shatters. I love that this important fucking keyhole is in the middle of a goddamn Papa John. This is Power Rangers all over again with the Krispy Kreme.
Yeah. We're gonna have. It's we have to have our big sponsor represented in this movie. But it has to be in a fight scene. Little Papa John's and Uncharted, Krispy Kreme and Power Rangers, IHOP and Man of Steel.
How did Papa John's not cash in on fucking? Here's the pizza. It's Nathan Drake's ring, and it's just the crust.
Unless he was just being facetious and he just said Papa John because it's a pizza place. But it would be funny if just hey, Papa, we got Nathan Drake's fucking butthole. No. Stick your key in this butthole, everybody.
Here you go. Here is a Nathan Drake shaped pizza.
It says Sic Parvis Magna and garlic butter on the crust.
Yeah, and it's being sold to you by the ghost of Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah. Now listen here. You're going to get the Nathan Drake pizza. Yeah.
It's got cheese in the crust. Yep.
Like hidden liquid gold, man.
But it's hidden. It's like the gold. You got to find.
Yeah, you just hold a black light to the pizza and it spells out shit.
And it's even better if you stick your dick in it. Snap into a Slim Jim.
We call that an American pizza pie. What does it feel like? Like a Chicago deep dish.
Yeah. Welcome to Papa John's.
American pizza cream pie.
Yeah, welcome to Papa John's. Newest taste sensation, the pocket pizza pussy. It's just like a. It's just like a fucking calzone with a hole in it.
What is happening? A pocket pizza pussy. A pizza pocket, gross.
Hot pocket pussy.
Hot pocket pussy. My head.
By the way, this episode is for listeners 18 and up.
Yeah, this for this
Why?
PG
None of our other ones are.
this PG-13 movie for this 18 this NC-17 podcast.
Yeah, the movie PG-13. This episode rated R.
Let's go.
Oh man.
But yeah, the set pieces, the big shit.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like hard to like. I mean, it's like it's your
Much
basic again it's your treasure romp. We've seen it before. It's like, I mean, this is a tighter, smaller scale, I think.
And I think
In a way,
it is definitely it definitely has a smaller scale. And I think it does the movie favors because, if we were to jump into, say, the middle of, 2 or whatever.
Yeah. Save that for, Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, the movie. Bitch! I'm sorry.
I mean,
I would shit.
I mean, considering, the little crumbs they dropped at the end, they definitely are banking on this taking off. It's apparently there was a week, not even that long ago, when they said, hey, there's 60 different video games that we're going to turn into movies and TV shows in pre-production right now. Yeah. So the comic movies, an old hat. Video game movies, they're taking another stab.
Man.
And there's some video games that would make great fucking movies, but for some reason they just haven't been really able to nail it yet.
I mean, and when it comes to comes to video game movies, I would say
this is definitely on the higher end.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know
agree.
what would be the best video game adaptation of a movie or video game movie adaptation, but I feel like this is comfortably toward the top of the pile.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it I know
and it does the bare minimum of what I would want out of an Uncharted movie.
Yeah. I'll say what I will about it. I feel lacking a little bit in set pieces. Again, this is an origin story. He's not even full blown the Nathan Drake we know from the video games until the very end of the movie, which I thought was kind of cool. It's not something you would expect from, you'd say, just your normal average Joe type movie, even though we know what this is because we've played the games.
Yeah.
It's suddenly he puts on a gun holster and he's a completely different person.
Oh my God, he whipped that thing on he was paid to do it. Well, he was paid to do it, but he's
And that's the first time you get the music from the game. And it's just,
don't sue us. I just really love this.
It's Tom Holland with a gun.
Yeah, and there was one bit. It was early in the movie where young Nate and Sam, they were looking in this little box, and you can see the Naughty Dog logo on the box on a sticker, and then JoJo goes, "Did you see?" I was like, "Yes, I did."
I mean, the PlayStation Sony movie studio is recently opened, so you have this little montage of has Kratos and Atreus. You have Lara Croft, I think, Nathan, and Ratchet and Clank. Even though there already was a Ratchet and Clank movie, but the PlayStation
it's their
cast.
Marvel. It's their Marvel intro.
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking cool. That was neat. Please, you see, now you just gotta keep making movies to warrant that thing.
yeah. Hopefully it makes enough money to where at least give another movie a shot.
Yeah. Because this movie, I had to look it up beforehand, but the same director as Venom, at least the first Venom.
Oh, okay. And say what you will, that movie's fun.
Yeah, I think I gave that movie the same score when I first saw it. 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Venom,
Yeah,
gotta
but,
get him, Venom.
But sadly, there wasn't an Eminem track on it. Though. Well, there was a Milk Blood track though. For those who don't know, Milk Blood is this kind of horror themed synth group, and they kind of rose to prominence with a music video a couple years ago called "Tired of Being Sorry." It has this monster dancing around and it's mocap by internet comedian / dancer Casey Fry.
I am not familiar.
And the monster was designed by internet horror artist Pepper Henderson.
I don't know why for a second there I thought it was made by famous internet whore. I was like, wait, what? Horror. Sorry.
The
Famous
horror.
internet whore.
Famous internet whore, Otto the Octopus.
I mean,
Where were you, bitch? We're watching the movie. You didn't even come.
I think he came in a different capacity.
Oh, yeah. Because him and that other octopus, man, they've been going to town.
Man,
they are newlyweds after all.
They are.
Also, it has been established. This bride of Otto.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just haven't established the name yet.
Okay. I mean, they have literally been just all over each other for what, about a little week and a half now,
Yeah.
maybe a little longer. Like in the same position.
Yep.
It's tantric.
Like take a picture and put it on on the AYCH Twitter. Or something. But man, we should take Otto to the Cobb one day.
Just have him sit.
Oh, we got to sneak him in when we do the Cage and Greatness premiere of Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yes. Oh yes. Fuck yeah! I can't wait for that movie. But anyway, we get to the big old jumbo jet crates just slapping motherfuckers in the face left and right.
Oh, yeah, like even like the version we see at the beginning of the movie when that one dude gets hit by the crate and just flies to his death. I was just like, ow.
I know it's a movie, but I'm still that motherfucker in the theater. It's just like, oh, ow, god damn, that dude's super dead.
Because like the sound design was very crunchy.
Oh yeah,
when it hit,
You heard every bone like crunkle under
Yeah.
just the impact.
it sounded like 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 when a car gets hit, how like the fucking metal will crumple.
Yeah.
That's the sound it made.
Oh. And I also thought the bit where when they find the ships in the end, loaded down with gold. That part was kind of like so little lackluster to me. I don't know why it just came off just bland, because they get to the ships and then Nate's just like, oh yeah, look at all these barrels, and then Sully's, oh what, there's nothing in here. Oh yeah, these things are full of gold. Look, false tops. Kicks it out, just fucking gold everywhere. It's like, oh yeah, the gold's here, blah blah. It's like, and Sully of course excited, fuck yeah, fill your fucking pockets, let's go, yeah. And it's like, I don't know. It just felt. I know why. Well, I mean, it makes sense because Nathan Drake was pissed at Sully at that point. Because oh yeah, at this point Nathan is told that Sam is dead. Like he is shot. It's funny because they did the Uncharted 4 thing that was with Nate and Sam, but this time it was Sully and Sam. And Sully was the one that got away, and Sam got shot. I thought that was a nice little tidbit. They at least mentioned it, even though it's not how it happened.
Played out in this movie, yeah.
And like a deviation from the original. It sort of like sets up a bigger mystery later on for if this continues.
And then Braddock and her crew show up and hook both the ships up. Because there's a convenient opening in this cavern.
Because I'm thinking, like, first of all, how the fuck did these ships get into this, like, cavern? And two, like, when they just, like, helicopter these ships out. And, like, I know it's a movie, and I'm not actually complaining, but I do think it's funny that these 500-year-old wooden ships are perfectly intact as they're just slinging these bitches in the middle of the air. Just, like
the wood would have been so dry rotted, like, even like trying to pick this bitch up, it would have just like fucking.
No, it would have crumbled the second they went to pick it up. But this is like the Fast and Furious portion of the movie where reality just goes out the window. Like it wasn't very present to begin with, but like it's definitely not on the human plane anymore. When Sully like hijacks one of the helicopters and they're just like crisscrossing, like dogfighting basically with like pirate ships. And so Nathan Drake's like on one of the pirate ships and Braddock and her crew are on the other, and he's like literally sword fighting dudes on like the pirate ship.
Man, that's pretty cool. And for the most part, I mean, all the special effects used for that, I thought looked pretty fucking good.
Yeah, for the most part. There were a couple shots, mostly in the plane sequence.
Oh yeah.
That were really CG, but
like where it actually mattered, I thought it looked pretty damn good.
Exactly.
I can't believe they didn't have the balls to just strap a ship to a plane and start zipping around.
Yeah.
Fuck the ethics. We need cool shit.
Well, I mean,
We're Disney, damn it. We have unlimited money.
there's like money, because I thought when they lifted the ship up, because in the very first Uncharted game, the El Dorado, the golden man, the golden idol that they find, lifted up, the baddies lifted up with a helicopter and shit. I thought that's pretty cool. But yeah, the ships smacking into each other I thought was pretty rad. Like the stunt choreography again, like Holland flipping around on this ship, kicking dudes, swashbuckling style. It was cool. It was really cool. It's like, it made me want to see more, but again, this is an origin story. We got what we got, and I thought it was a fun time. And oh my God, Braddock got a whole ass ship dropped on her face.
and honestly, I think it was overkill because from the height she fell, like her hitting the water would turn her fucking bones into dust.
Oh, yeah. She got knocked off the boat when she's like hopped on there like she was Spider-Man, and then she gets hit off, and she's just like, "Whoo, that was crazy!" And then like the boat drops on her ass. But I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled some shit. It's like, haha, I swam away at the last second and it somehow missed me.
It's like, oh yeah, she ducked right at the last.
She just like, bloop.
A turtle was right here.
It's like someone took her in Photoshop and was just like,
boop. She
just clicked on her, dragged her over there.
That's like she comes back for the sequel, but she just has like a metal dome on her head. She's like fucking like Juggernaut. It's like, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Oh yeah, and of course there's also some double crossing going on from Chloe Frazier's part, which is on par with the character, on brand. Kinda for a little bit. I don't know. It's more so for like, I don't know, twisties for twisty's sake in the games, because she always comes back around. Yeah. But in this, because like there's a bit where Nathan Drake leaves the coordinates written down on the table, and then he goes to sleep, or so you think they're the coordinates, and then she is just fucked off at this point. And then even I'm like, you dumbass, why did you? And then he's like, pulls out the real coordinates that he had hidden in a bottle. I was like, you crafty bastard. And then later on, when Sully and Nathan are flying in the helicopter, she's still just chugging along in the boat. I thought that was funny.
I do think it's funny because like one has like the whole like Fujiko type of character from like Lupin the Third, how like she's part of the team, but she always betrays them and she always comes back. And then, like, two, I legit forgot what happened to her. I'm just like, because they're fucking flying pirate ships like goddamn TIE fighters. And I'm just like, oh yeah, what happened to that other girl? And then, like, a second later, she just, like, bebopping along on her ski-doo. And it's like, oh yeah. And I do think it's funny as fuck when, like, after they smashed the first ship got blown up, and then they dropped the real one on top of Sabrina's head, and then it has this bit that's straight out of like the Goonies when the pirate ship sails out to sea on its own. Yeah, and then and it's like, is this fucking boat after all that really about to sail out to sea, and eventually it blub blub blubs like start to sink underwater.
Well, it did. It did the whole bit. Like, even waited till like after they did their whole spiel to the very end, you can see just the tip of the boat go down. Mm-hmm. The only thing missing is fucking Jack Sparrow stepping off the tip of it or some shit.
Yeah. I mean, they did name drop that character.
They did. Sued. Sony's getting sued. And then Disney buys Sony, and then it suits over.
Yeah, they re-release it, and you just see at different points in the movie, like Captain Jack poking his head out of a barrel.
Yeah, we're pretty much at the end there, but we do get this two nifty little end credit scenes. Mm-hmm. Well, I also thought what funny is like, oh, we don't have any more of the gold, and then Nate's like, oh yeah, I got this. Oh, and I got this. Oh, yeah, I got this too. Oh, yeah, I got this. He just starts pulling pieces of gold out of his pocket. I thought that was pretty funny.
And then the last one, he's like, oh, I also got this. And it's like a piece of bubble gum. And one of the good Mark Wahlberg moments, he's just like, okay. And then just throws it out the window.
Yeah, and which came first? The prison scene. The prison scene was first, right? Yeah,
because you have like the fancy credit with all the pictures of the cast, and then that ends, and you have like there's just derelict dungeon prison. It's like, ooh, what's happening here? And you see like this like man in shadow, and he's like writing down on the postcard, and it's Sam, his brother. And then you have the regular credits, and then there's like an extended stinger after that.
Yeah, now that was cool. This is fucking Uncharted. If they do pick this up, like if they like pick it up like right where this left off, hopefully with a fuller stash on Wahlberg. Can Wahlberg grow a decent stash? I'm sure he has before.
I feel like I don't think I've seen him with. I mean, I take it back. He has grown a beard before in like certain movies, but like he's usually pretty clean shaven.
Yeah. Victor Sullivan in the games is an older gentleman who has a nice stash, like a Tom Selleck-esque stash,
A full
if you
stash.
A nice old poon broom.
Because we were thinking before, like, this motherfucker couldn't grow a mustache for this goddamn movie, but then, like, every fucking promo he does for his next movie, he just has, like,
this
peach
ugly,
fuzz.
like handlebar thing happening.
It's like, what's up, dude? And then,
What's up, nerd?
and then apparently they have, like, you know, psych, they were saving the stash for the stinger.
But it's weird because now that I think about it, the guy that they are talking to in that bar in this scene, he has an eye patch, and I'm thinking that's not supposed to be the villain from Among Thieves, is it? The bald guy, is it?
I don't think so.
Because I don't think so either. Because he names a character called Roman, and Roman is one of the villains in the first Uncharted game.
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird. It's like only people who play the game would know that shit. Like, literally only them. And then they're having their little back and forth about Nate's ring because, Nate's ring is significant. Of course it is in the games in a lot of aspects. But, and then, you know, Sully's here, comes back up. I got my guns. I got my cat with me. And this is where it felt like full-blown Uncharted. Like, I'm not hating on the whole movie as a whole. I enjoyed it for what it was. But this was Uncharted. Like, oh my God, they're fucking, hey, motherfuckers, we ain't playing around. They got the guns out. They're like, we're here to get treasure and get maps and shit, okay? We don't want to hurt you, damn it. But, just saying. And then they turn around, and then you get Nate's signature catchphrase, oh, crap, and then just credits. Like, blackout. So I fucking hope to Christ this gets a sequel.
I wouldn't see why it wouldn't. Especially if it's making pretty good money.
Because, like, I'm assuming they had to have some sort of high hopes for it. I mean, they had to have banked on at least the fans of the game going. I mean, that was a popular franchise. Like,
And plus, they, you know, I'm sure there's like all these like little stuff from if you play the game, but even someone like me, I didn't know who he was, but I feel like this has to be the voice actor for Drake when he landed on the beach and like
Nolan North, yeah.
There's like they're talking to like a dude, like a random dude's like, okay, he has to be a voice actor. There has to be like a little nudge for.
God, how can I forget that? How did I just gloss over fucking actual Nathan Drake, Nolan North, just chilling out on the beach? What'd he say? He was just like, he goes, "Well, that's happened to me once before." Funny. I was like, cause that's you. Yeah, that was not. I was anticipating Nolan North like showing up in some capacity, and when he did, it was pretty nice. I was just like, yeah. And I completely forgot about it. Fake fucking fan over here.
Fake
what the
fan.
hell?
All right,
God.
you have to turn over.
I'm pointing the guns at myself right
you
now.
have to turn over your Uncharted AYCH, you know, a liaison card.
Oh no. Man, I had the Holy Shit edition of 3, Drake's Deception, and it came with like this little chest thing. It came with a replica of the ring. I wish I still had it, but it eroded big time.
Oh, I bet.
Like,
They just made that with the cheapest materials.
yeah. However,
flashback to Fallout 76 materials.
Oh, God.
but you know, whenever I do have a actual That Canon Guy championship, like my custom title, I do want to have sick Parvis Magnus somewhere on it in some capacity.
Yeah.
I've always liked that. Greatness from small beginnings. Mm-hmm. That's some good shit. I like that. I like it.
Yeah. Now, for like when we do like our coat of arms for the art house, like our Latin saying would just be full diaper, full diaper household.
Oh my God!
Full Diaper Maximus.
Can you get like a full diaper championship?
No, it'd just be Diapius Maximus. There we go.
Because you know, y'all were talking earlier about, you know, just like, you know, we know it's a movie and outlandish things happen. there's like a crazy bit in Uncharted 2. And again, my favorite in the franchise. I love that game. It is fucking fantastic. But do you remember when, spoilers for Uncharted 2, Among Thieves, the game, not the movie that's not out yet, when they go underground, and they're in like this snowy fucking tundra, right?
Yeah.
Just snow fucking everywhere. It's
and
a blizzard.
Just jumping all around and shit.
And then they go underground. Again, they go underground. And they somehow end up in like this Amazon rainforest type situation.
Oh, they did some Hollow Earth type
where the
shit?
sun's out.
Yeah.
And there's not snow anywhere. If I'm remembering this correctly, I think I am.
I think you are too. Granted, it's been a while. I just remember that being around the point where like the supernatural shit starts.
Yeah.
Where you fight the big
Like the big dude. Like all of them are Wardlow. And like
and just will not die.
No, they will not. They are just until you just shoot them 9 times in the face. But yeah, I thought that was just like, okay, I know it's a game. I'm not going to question how we ended up in like, say, Antarctica, and now we're in like this jungle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because that was
even though it's one of the coolest
They were
parts
like
of the
in like Nepal and like around the
Yeah.
Himalayas at that point. Yeah.
Like some
So, I mean,
like Shangri-La or some stuff.
Exactly. Actually, yeah, I think
Yeah, I
that
believe
was
so.
the treasure they were running in.
And plus, like, there's been like a lot of like, I guess, mysterious supernatural stories of people reporting that they get lost in like a snowy blizzard environment, and then either wake up or like find shelter in a cave, and then they go further and find themselves in like this lavish, vibrant jungle area. Like that's a thing that's like a mysterious, strange happening sort of been happening that people talked about for years.
Oh, you know what? The more you know. I did not know that. That makes me appreciate that little bit of weirdness even more.
Just like one of those high strangest things that people have that's happened to people allegedly. I mean, if it's not really the hell, it's still a fucking fun story.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Again, that's just me like being that's weird.
And plus, like Uncharted, it's takes heavy cues from Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones had like spooky shit. I mean, the first movie is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the fucking face melting scene.
Oh yeah, the games they have supernatural elements in it for the most part.
Yeah, I mean every Indiana Jones, Kali Ma, and then the Holy Grail. Like there's always like magical spooky shit.
Alien skulls.
Yeah, I mean you get aliens, whether
God.
you accept that as canonical or not.
God, in hindsight, it wasn't the hardest boss battle ever, but that fucking final fight in Uncharted 2,
It is an ass. That homeboy sucks.
in the game, he's he's drinking this like nectar that like makes him like superhuman pretty much.
Yeah.
And you're just like, he's like throwing grenades at you and blasting you with a shotgun that never runs out of fucking ammo. Infinite shotgun. And you're basically like doing laps, and the only thing that will like hurt him is like shooting like the sap that he drank. It explodes, and that's the only thing that can kill him. Man, I don't know if it was even on like normal difficulty. That shit was fucking hard.
Yeah,
like
I couldn't imagine doing it on the like highest difficulty.
Man, I was just getting angry. There's a man. I died a lot. There's some puzzles in Uncharted that made me feel just dumb AF at first, especially in 4. Like man, they really upped the ante in that one, especially in this one in particular. I'm just like, man, I'm when I go back to that one, I'm not looking forward to that puzzle in particular.
Also, real question: if we come back for Uncharted 2, does like can the male Tomb Raider guy be like a bad guy in it?
Yes.
Yeah, do that.
Or hell, just put Tom Holland in the fucking like tank top and like booty shorts and strapped with guns.
Hell yeah.
Because let me tell you, a certain part of my timeline exploded when that first trailer came out. You just see Tom Holland come out in like the sopping wet T-shirt when he shoots up out of the cave.
Yeah, you know, and those like super thin shirts, when they get soaking wet, they just like become your skin. Like they're not fucking going anywhere.
And they weigh about like 10 extra pounds.
I hate thinking about that feeling right now. It's the worst.
It is not fun.
Like
at
just
all.
being in wet fucking clothes. But yes, Uncharted was a fun time. I thought it was a good first outing in the cinematic world of Uncharted, at least.
Yep.
Because like literally outside of the main actors we mentioned, and like there's like two, I guess, like thugs, like sidekick henchmen dudes that hang out with Brad. Like one of them's a Scotsman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
they do
I
the
think he's
stereotyp-
listed as the Scotsman in the credits.
Yeah, like, and he's just like stereotypical Scottish guy, and that is like, what are you saying?
he just like has a heavy brogue and he's just talking a mile a minute.
Yeah, which I thought was weird because like in the trailer, that scene is in there and he says his bit. He goes, and then Tom Holland and Nate goes, what? And then they start to fight. But in the movie, it was just like he does his bit. He goes, I'm sorry, what did you say? Or I'm sorry, I didn't understand. And I was like, well, I thought the what played better. But and again, like I know they change little bits in trailers just so you don't see exactly everything. But something as like small and as insignificant as that, like why? That's just weird to me. I don't know.
It's like why put in that much effort for that?
Like how much money was spent doing that?
That was probably just like an alternate take they had, and because it was so short, they put it in the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
They probably did that a couple of times. And they just sort of Tom Holland just ad-libbing confusion. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, but like even seeing Tom Holland, like you said earlier, he's been Spider-Man for several years now. But and you know he does like his flippery lucha shit outside the mask too. But it was nice seeing him out of costume doing shit like that too. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean I know this is like this isn't a detriment to Tom Holland. I did kind of feel like he was being Peter Parker in the movie, at least from my perspective, because I don't know anything about Uncharted. It kind of felt like this is Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Tom Holland, just in a different context. But at the same time, that sells, so people want Peter Parker, Tom Holland, and, in just crazy situations. And just like, it's like I'm just a tiny boy, and I'm just completely at odds with the thing that's happening. One bit I thought was funny is, the whole thing, Tom Holland wakes up and flying in the sky, and he's like, oh no, oh fuck. And then it flashes back to him as a kid. Part of me thought they're just going to have Tom Holland as himself just pretend to be younger. But no, they actually had like a younger kid be him. But to me, it's just like, I know Tom Holland's like 26, but he still looks a lot younger.
I mean, I will say, to be fair, Nathan Drake is a huge smartass, and that is also Spider-Man. So it works. I know, yeah, it's pretty on brand for Nathan Drake to be the way he was in this. And I thought Tom Holland did a pretty solid job. Like everybody was like, he's too young. He's not Nathan Fillion. Bleh. It's just like, but again, if it wants to be a franchise, you want them.
You gotta invest when they're young.
Yeah, and Tom Holland's like 25, 26, 27, something
Yeah,
like that?
he's like at most 26.
Yeah, he's like my age.
And again, Nathan Fillion did play Nathan Drake in this fan-made film. And you know what? It was a damn good fan-made film. A little short. I think you can still find it on YouTube. Had, I forgot his name. He's always gray, army, angry dude. I think he was in Avatar. He played Sully, which I didn't hate.
He's the guy who plays in
Don't Breathe.
Don't
That
Breathe.
guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, that guy.
Also, I thought it was funny that this movie, for like the first 20 minutes or so, is kind of like a remake of the Tom Cruise movie Cocktail, but with Tom Holland.
Oh yeah.
Or he's just like a fancy like bartender, like flipping shit around. I do like how he's just being a fucking nerd about it. Oh no, did you know this drink was made in 1906 and blah blah blah. This girl's just like, yeah, dude, just give me my drink.
Yeah.
I don't need all this flippy shit.
Yeah, and again, we didn't mention earlier, in that scene too is where you see that he's working, but he's also a professional fucking crook, because he like uses the whole bit of there's a reoccurring bit in the movie. He has this lighter that belonged to his brother, and it just doesn't fucking work. She's like click 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 click, and he's trying to light this chick's cigarette, and then he just slips her bracelet off. She doesn't even fucking notice. He just has it in her pocket before she even knows what happened. And I thought it was pretty cool because, again, this is acting like a sort of a prequel to the games in a way, because in their own version of it, because you see Nathan Drake, he's I guess a part-time bartender, but he's also a thief, and he's interested in history, especially of like hidden treasures and whatnot, and of course, just when you see Sully pick him out and be like, "Oh, your kid is funny," and then I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm sorry.
It's like your train just started throwing at a track as you're going.
Well, I guess I'm trying to say is the movie origin of Nathan Drake, Tom Holland's Nathan Drake. You know what? Thumbs up. I thought it was pretty good.
Hey, are we giving this movie a thumbs up?
Oh my god, yeah.
Giving it a thumbs up.
You'll give it 3 stars. You'll obviously hated it. No, that's not the case.
That's not how it works. I gave it a heart as well.
Oh, I forgot to heart it. I need to heart it. Shit. I do heart this movie.
Do we have anything else like major we want to talk about? Because we're pushing the limit.
I think that's all we got to say.
Yeah. It again, if you're a fan of the series, check it out. Hell, even if you're not a fan of the series, I mean,
I didn't know Two Shapes before walking that theater. I don't know anything now, but you know what? It was a good time. There are much. That's not even a bad movie. It's it's a fun time.
Yeah, if action games or action adventure games are any way your bag, Pat, I would recommend running through the Uncharted games because they're a fun time. Like the cutscenes alone, like the games get criticism from people like, "Oh, these are just interactive movies," because they do have like long, elaborate, really good cutscenes. And like hell, I think I think Uncharted 2 had like pushing like 9 hours worth of cutscenes or some shit like that.
That makes sense.
Also, people who say like Uncharted is just like a playable cutscene, y'all don't know shit about Metal Gear.
Yeah.
and plus,
well, it's not that it's a playable cutscenes. It's just the cutscenes are long as shit.
Oh yeah, but the playable cutscene is Asura's Wrath.
Oh my
god, that game! Yeah, that game is literally just a playable cutscene.
I will never forget attempting to play Metal Gear Solid 5, and
that is a very bad decision.
When you start the game, it's like an hour fucking cutscene before you do anything.
Hey,
oh yeah, it's not the worst. Like the final cutscene of 4, which is like the finale of the series, despite there being 5, which is a prequel, but the final cutscene for MGS4 is no joke 2 hours.
Are you fucking with me?
I am not fucking with you.
Jesus.
It is goddamn feature film in of itself.
I mean,
you can find it on Letterboxd.
I am all for fucking like storytelling in video games, like at 100%. That being said, could you at least skip it if you went through it one time?
Well, I mean,
2 hours.
Well, I mean, at that point, you could just literally turn the game off.
Well, this is the ending. So the actual ending cutscene is 2 hours. You've done everything.
Yeah,
like you beat the final boss.
Fuck.
And I will say, in the game's defense, it is like wrapping up like decades worth of story, but it's still like Jesus Christ. It could be trimmed. I will say that there's especially 4 has a lot of just like unnecessary just bloviating.
Damn.
But yeah.
Well, we don't want to make this episode too bloated, so we're going to go ahead and tie it off at the end here. So thank you so much for listening to this edition of the Non-Canon Files. We hope you enjoyed our interpretation of the film. And if nothing else, hopefully it entertained you and then maybe you decide to go check it out on your own. Hey, let this be the Mystery Science Theater to you. Hey, big brain, turn this on while you're listening to the movie.
This is going to be significantly shorter than the movie, though, right?
You know what? Just start it over.
I mean,
I want to do commentaries one day. I want to figure out how to do that.
yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be something to look forward to in the future. But until we get there, thank you for listening. Be sure to follow us wherever podcasts are found: SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Spotify. We're on all of them. Be sure to like, rate, subscribe on all those platforms. Helps us out, keeps us visible, puts us in front of you listeners. We always appreciate you when you do it. You can follow us on our socials on AYCH Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. AllYouCanHear on Letterboxd and Facebook. And if you're listening to this the week it comes out, we had episode 251 on Monday where we play the impression game. And on Thursday, we had a new edition of the Travolting Development on the Cage and Greatness podcast. So go check both of those episodes out. Both of those are a lot of fun in very different capacities. And lastly, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at John Lost His Name.
My name's JoJo. You can follow me on Twitter at JONIIBOA24 and John Nelson 12 on Letterboxd.
And I have been That Canon Guy. You can find me at That Canon Guy on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and Goodreads. And remember what Sir Francis Drake said: snitches get stitches.
Good night, everybody.